Okay, thank you very much for the chance given to me. So I will the first presenter for the topic about ethnography. So I would like to explain why ethnography is powerful for studying English language classroom or communities. So let me begin with the introduction. First slide, please. Okay, so ethnography is a qualitative research method that explores how English is taught and learned in real classrooms. So instead of focusing on test scores, ethnography studies how teachers and students interact, how they create meaning, and how culture shapes language learning, I mean. So, according to Hammersley and Atkinson in 2019 and Richards in 2020, so it is stated that researchers act as participants, observers, collecting data through observations, notes, interviews, and documents to understand how culture, identity, and relationships influence English teaching. So this approach is important because it helps reveal things that are often hidden in the learning process. For example, how teachers adjust lessons to students' cultures, how students use their first language to learn English, and how classroom rules influence motivation and participation. So ethnography helps teachers see that learning English is not only about grammar or vocabulary, but it is also about social interaction and cultural understanding. So in this way, it provides a deeper and a more realistic picture of English classrooms, helping teachers create lessons that are more inclusive, meaningful, and culturally relevant. Next slide, please. Okay, so there are some reasons why ethnography is particularly powerful in ELT. The first is it captures natural language use. So ethnography allows researchers to observe real spontaneous classroom interactions such as code switching, translanguaging, teacher, peer scaffolding, and also a negotiation of meaning. So this cannot be seen through tests because they appear only through direct and long-term observation in natural settings. The second one is it produces a thick description and emic meanings. So ethnographers don't just describe what happens, but they explain why it matters to participants. So they interpret students and teachers' own meanings, uncovering values, beliefs, and motivations behind behavior. The third one is it reveals learning processes over time. So because ethnography is long-term, it helps researchers see how learning, participation, and language practices develop or change over time, not just the final outcomes. And next is it uncovers hidden multimodal and embodied practices. So language learning is not only about words, but it involves gestures, body language, eye contact, use of L1 and classroom tools. So ethnography captures these multimodal elements, showing how communication really happens in multilingual classrooms. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay. The next reason is it makes a visible power, identity, and ideology. So ethnography reveals who speaks, who stays silent, and who is seen as smart. And it shows how language ideologies like valuing English more than a local language shapes classroom identity and access to learning. The next is it connects a classroom to community. So the classroom is a part of a larger language ecology, like family life, community use, policies, and local expectation. Well, ethnography links school practices to real life language use, making findings more meaningful. The next reason is it uses multiple data sources. Well, ethnography combines observations, interviews, recordings, documents, and artifacts. So it gives a richer and more reliable picture of language learning through triangulation. And the next is it bridges theory and practice. So ethnographic findings refine theories, for example, translanguaging, identity formation, and also over practical insights for developing context-based curriculum, materials, and teacher training. Next slide, please. Okay, so there are 4 limitations and how to handle it. The first is time and resources. So ethnography requires time and intensive involvement. So to overcome this, researchers can conduct micro-ethnography, define clear time boundaries, and select significant or representative events as the focus of their research. And the second one is generalizability. So ethnographic findings cannot always be generalized. So to address this, researchers can develop theories, compare multiple locations, and provide in-depth descriptions to allow readers to assess their applicability. And the third one is researcher bias or positionality. So the researcher's presence can influence research results. So to overcome this, researchers need to take reflective notes and also conduct a triangulation or member checking and maintain transparent methodology. And the last one is ethical issues. So ethnographic research poses ethical issues, especially when involving children, requiring strict consent and confidentiality. So to overcome this, researchers must follow ethical protocols, anonymize data, obtain parental consent, and adapt this consent process to local cultures. So the conclusion from my presentation is that ethnography is powerful in ELT research because it reveals the real lived and contextual experience of language teaching and learning, and it makes it both theoretically deep and practically useful. So that's all about my presentation. So I give chance to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Maria. I will continue. In this session, we will try to understanding related with the material or an article that it has published in one of the Asian Pacific Journal of Second and Foreign Language Education entitled Integrating Gender with Ethnography as Methodology in Understanding L2 Writing Instruction in a Chinese University. Okay, next. Yeah, ethnography and this research is focuses understanding the context of L2, second language, English writing instruction in a Chinese university. It examines how teachers and students experience and practice English writing courses. The ethnography perspective was used to explore the social, institution, and classroom context that shape with writing instruction and learning. Okay. Okay, from the subject in this research, the first is English Department of Public University in Southwest China. There are teachers, 5 writing instruction involved, 12 in English writing 1 and writing 2, and 1 in academic writing. And then there are 40 students were selected from each of courses, a total of 120 students. The interview form this is used in collecting the database use interview. 15 students consists of 6 males and 9 females. It purposefully selected for the interview because they were active learners, articulate, expressive, reflective, and their writing experience. Okay, next. In collecting the data, the writer used 3 parts. The first is document, national English syllabus, teaching material, textbook, PowerPoint slide, and model text. And the second, the subject is student text, 111 written assessment from 40 students per course. And the third is interview, semi-structured interview with 3 teachers and 15 students, validated by expert for the content validity. And the fourth, ethical procedure, institutional approach, voluntary participant, and member checking. Next. In analyzing the data, the writer used several 4 steps. The data were analyzed using thematic coding, applying both of categorizing and connecting to strategy based on Maxwell 2005. The first teaching material were coded for major pedagogical approach and in vivo theme. Second, interview transcript were transcripts, translate, and annotate for meaningful segment that depend on the code. The third, cross-case comparison were made among instructions to identify similarity and differences. And the last, the member checking was used to answer accuracy and debriefing session between author strictness and reliability. Okay, that's for me. Continue to the others. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Agus. I would like to continue with the results of this study. There are 3 actually the major results of this study, which are related from one to another. The first one is, this result or this study is about the L2 English writing instruction in Chinese university, and they demonstrated that the L2 writing instructions consisted of pedagogical mosaic. What it means by mosaic here is they have the same national syllabus, but the teachers are using different instructional approaches. And from these instructional approaches, the researcher tried to classify them into 3 main approaches. The first one is called traditional approach, and then the second one is process-based approach, and the third one is genre-based approach. I would like to explain this in the next slide. And then the third one, the result is every individual instructor chose and practiced various strategies based on their own theoretical and pedagogical orientations. So in China, especially based on this research, the national syllabus are the same, but the structures of the writing instruction here will be the teachers need to learn and practice various strategies, and then they need to choose which pedagogical orientation that they believe, and they can use it in their instruction. So that's what happening in China. And these are the instructional approaches that I informed you before. The first one is called traditionalist approach or traditionalist basic skills approach. In this case, the focus is on the language elements like sentence, paragraph, words, and then the strategies included teaching useful sentence patterns and language revision. So, like error analysis, how to make a good sentences. So that's the instructional approach believed by some teachers in China. And then the second one is genre-based approach. It focuses on text genre. So they use Cavalry strategies like deconstruction, joint construction, and independent construction to make the text, yeah, to produce the text, and it is based on the genre. Maybe it is, quite similar with what is happening in Indonesia right now, because in Indonesia also we believe in genre-based approach, right? And then the third one is eclectic approach, or this is the combination between genre-based plus process-based. So the focus is not actually about the text genre, but it is about how to produce the writing. There's a focus in this approach, and it magnifies the peer and teacher feedback, the process of learning. The students need to make multiple drafts, and then less attention to grammar. It is not like the traditionalists. And then they have an extra creative writing activities. Yeah, because the most important thing in here is the process or the production of writing. And it is incorporated genre-based strategies. But the focus in is about the production of writing or the process of writing. Not like genre-based approach, the focus is on the text genre. So they try to write something based on the genre in genre-based approach. And also we try to see the strengths and weaknesses of this study. We found four, two for each. The strengths of the study is it used ethnography's perspective. So it is a national-wide, and also the analysis is very deep, right? There are so many things, and then they also try to find a theme. That's why we had the three themes before. And the second strength is it has multi-source data, like what Agus Triyogo explained just now. So 611 written assignments from students, and also the national syllabus, official documents, and then they did semi-structured interviews to the teachers, and also they tried to see the teaching materials, the text models, and also the PowerPoint slides. So multi-source data, the data are very robust in here. Yeah, but we also found some weaknesses here, and the most significant weaknesses here is it is only a cross-sectional study. So the research was done only once at a time, and it would be better if it is actually a longitudinal study, because it is a cross-sectional. Maybe the result only can only be seen from that time frame only. But it would be very good if it is a longitudinal study, for example, like following the students how to write them semester by semester, and then yeah, it will be a better ethnography research. And then the second weakness is limited focus. This study only focused on the process, but not the product or the effect of the approach. So because they only focus on the process, we don't know about the products and also the effect. It would be very interesting if we can see the product and how the process will affect the product. But unfortunately, maybe about because of the time frame, that's why also it only uses the cross-sectional design, because of that limited time frame. They can only focus on the process and not the product and the effect. I think that's all about this research, and it will be continued to the next research.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yudha. Now is the second article that we are reviewing, that we are reviewed, entitled "Miming a Conspiracy Theory on the Biopolitical Compression of the Great Replacement Conspiracy Theories." Okay, next slide, please, Pak Yudha. Okay, this article investigates about how memes on the online platform 4chan and polls represent the great spread population replacement conspiracy theories, or something that popular with PRCT, especially in the great replacement and white genocide narratives. Um, 4chan is an anonymous online forum where the people can post or share an images, message, and discussion on almost any kinds of topics. So the researchers take this research as digital ethnography, where digital ethnography is a qualitative research that studies about social, cultural interaction, behavior, and meanings within digital environments such as social media platform, online communities, and also virtual worlds. So this is in this article, the researcher is using the 4chan uh, platform to be investigate regarding to the issue. So the researcher explore about how the memes actually compress and repack racist, sexist, and hatred ideas into short, ironic, and easily shareable visual messages, and making them powerful tool for spreading extremist ideologies. So in this article, the author argues that plays an important role in simplifying and spreading complex conspiracy theories about the topic in which the population replacement. So that memes take amounts of large information and misinformation into a short visuals that are easy to share. Next slide, please, Pak Yuda. The subject of the research. Since this article is digital ethnography, there is no direct human participant in this study because the data came from publicly available posts on the 4chan platform, polls indicating about the political subject of the platform. Instead of interviewing users, the researcher applied a pervasive sampling strategy that focused on posts or threads that explicitly discuss, reference, or promote version of the population replacement conspiracy theories. This means that the researcher deliberately selected online discussion were the most relevant topic under the investigation. So, as I read at the article, the researcher become a lurker. A lurker is someone who reads or watches online discussion on the platform without any actively participating into the forums or discussion. The researcher just watch and also just scrolling around the uh, social media platform. Next slide, Pak Yuda. Okay, research method and analysis. This study used digital ethnography combined with non-participant observation. The researcher observed and record memes, comments, and interaction on the 4chan platform for around 10 months without engaging with the user. As I said before, in this case, this researcher become a lurker or someone that only read, watch online discussion without actively participating. So, this approach allows the researchers to understand the culture, narrative, and symbolic meaning surrounding the online community while minimizing interference with it. The researcher also used the Hall's encoding and decoding model, where the Halls introduced the encoding means the creating or sending message in different ways, While decoding means how people understand or interpret the message, and in this case, memes about the population replacement theories are encode message, and the user on the 4chan platform interpret or decode them into discussion. And then the data analyzed qualitatively using Max data software, and the researcher identified mind thematic patterns and also discursive strand with the uh, population replacement conspiracy theories, PRCT memes, and discussion. As I said before, the analysis draws on Halls in 1980 about encoding or decoding model to interpret how meanings were produced and understood by user, and on Foucault's concept of biopolitics to explain how memes express ideas about race, population, control, and also three representative memes were selected for deeper analysis to show that compressed and circulated ideological content. Uh, Biopolitical refers to um, something that resentment biopolitical compression means that complex political or social ideas about race, identity, um, population that are simplified or condensed into short and powerful meme image. This kind of memes become common or far right in online communities for about decades, according to the authors, so that the researcher decide to conduct a digital ethnography on 4chan platform about political, especially in biopolitical, regarding to population replacement conspiracy theories or PRCTs. So the next will be continued by Pak Rewa.
Okay, thank you, Pak Gunawan. I will continue to the findings. In these main findings, the digital ethnography or 4chan reveals that populations replacements conspiracy theory or PRCT memes serve three core functions within the far-right online ecosystems. The first one is biopolitical compressions. Memes condense slangly conspirational narratives to succinct easily consumable formats that foreground the populations as a political problem divided by race. This compressions includes the zero-sum logic. If non-white populations rise, white populations must decline, transforming abstract theories into visceral, artificial shorthand. The second one is gap filling and narrative expansions. While intellectual sources, York, Camus, and Sarrazin often omit explicit antisemitic or violence elements. 4chan memes freely incorporate this through intertextual forgeries or recycled extremist archive. Memes attribute PRCT to Jewish orchestrations, call for violence resistance, and mobilize misogynistic and homophobic tropes, thereby enriching and radicalizing the original palimpsest of replacement narratives. The third one is incitements of discourse and actions. By leveraging shared symbols by Wojak, Feels Guy, word maps, triple parentheses, memes creates a common language that trigger community discussions, recruit new adherents, and normalize violence as the only remedy against replacement. The anonymity and apparentity of 4chan amplify this effect. The positioning memes as both rhetorical weapons and community building rituals. Okay, next, Pak Gung. Okay, in these discussions, there are categories of PRCT discourse. There are 7 thematic strands structure of 4chan trends and memes. The first one is core PRCT arguments. It includes natures, mechanics, naming, and remedies. The second one is critiques of PRCT denial in mainstream media or indoctrinations. The third one is identifications of conspiratorial agents, UN, Soros, and liberals. It debates on race as a biological category. And the fifth one, the surveillance of white reproductions and incel culture. And the sixth one is misogynist denunciations of white women and LGBT plus identities. The last one is the about glorifications of white supremacist violence and martyrs. These categories extend academic PRCT literature by making explicit of the misogynistic, homophobic, and anti-Semitic dimensions largely implicit in print sources. Next slide, Pak Gung. Okay, memetic functionally in biopolitical terms. Drawing on Foucault's concept of biopolitics, memes recast populations as a malleable resource to defend or eliminate. The Croatian style word map meme, black versus white icons, portrays global replacement as an unstoppable tide, invoking a strategic urgency without overt alarmism. This converts demographic anxiety into actionable fear, priming users for radical solutions. Platform affordance and ethical implications. For 4chan structure, anonymous postings, no registrations, rapid thread deletions, encourage extremist content productions and passive consumptions. Users engage in memetic warfare, where irony and humor cloak calls for violence. The research highlights a pressing need for ethical frameworks to study extremist memes without amplifying them. Next slide, Pak Gung. Okay, there are some limitations of the research. The first one is in form of platform scopes. In analysis, is confined to 4chan poll. Examining mainstream social media could reveal divergence in PRCT expressions. The second one is non-participant observations. This research is lack of direct user interviews. Its limit insight into individual motivations and interpretive processes. The third one is about gender and sexuality. While central to PRCT, the role of gender and sexual anxieties in memetic design warrants deeper inquiry. The fourth one is violence incitement. Implicit calls to violence embedded in memes remain underexplored and require target research on radicalization pathways. In conclusions, PRCT memes on 4chan platform perform critical work in compressing, radicalizing, and disseminating replacement narratives. They transform scholarly conspiracies into potent viral calls to actions, revealing the biopolitical stakes of contemporary online extremisms. Okay, I think that's enough for my presentations. Thank you very much, Pak Gung Yudha, for facilitate me to share the screen.
Yeah, thank you. So that's all about our presentation, Prof. Lokita. And I would like to say we are very sorry that we made a mistake before. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much once again.
Okay, thank you, Pak Gung
Okay,
Yudha.
Thank you,
Good
Pak
afternoon,
Yudha.
everyone.
Good
yeah.
afternoon.
See you.